Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time and spending it with us on your busy Thursday afternoon. Especially, we had an urgent annuity DOL webinar yesterday as well. So, back to back webinars, back to back days. So, my hat goes off to all of you for, again, spending the time with us. And most important, I want you to walk away with nuggets that will help change your practice. Okay, yesterday, yes, was annuities. Today, we're talking about IUL. This is our first IUL training of the new year. And when I say first, I don't say that lightly because we have literally the number one selling IUL carrier that is on with us today. And they obviously have proven the concept. They have, in my opinion, one of the best products out there. Okay, and I think that's important. Number two is they've made some updates, tweaks, and have made the platform and product even better. And that's why I wanted Eric to literally jump on today and share all of the new bells and whistles, the stats, the non-med limits, the electronic tools are amazing. So this is one of those situations, and I'm not just saying it because Eric's on with us today, but this is one of those situations where they truly have between our strategies and platforms, okay, combined with what they offer to the agent and consumer, there is nothing else that is this valuable when it comes to IUL sales. And I mean this for you and your consumer. The value add is outrageous, and I think you'll agree with me by the time we're done here. So we're talking, I'm just going to mention some of these bullets quickly, and take out your pen and paper, use the Q&A question pane, which should be on the right-hand side. You might have to expand it depending on your screen setup, but we want to hear from you. Please, any questions will be answered on the fly. So real time, if we do not get to your question, we're going to answer as soon as we hang up today, and then everyone gets a thank you email in your inbox before the day is up, and we're going to include leads for contracting, cash for contracting, all the brochures, everything you need to get started, okay? Even consumer marketing templates so you can start to spread the word. So make sure you look for that email tonight. If you don't get it, it's probably in your spam folder or we have your incorrect email address, so call us and give us your new correct email address, okay? Okay, so when I said this 2 or 3 times, how I've never seen a product and carrier that has more of a comprehensive sales platform for the agent and consumer, I mean that. Proof is in the pudding. Let's talk about some of these bullets and the reasons why, right? At the end of the day, why Bill? That's the big question. So A-plus rated, top selling IUL, hands down, bar none, in 2021, obviously during a pandemic, okay? And we all know there's lots and lots of great IUL products out there, but why does this product consistently stay in that number one spot? So that's what Eric is going to share with you. We're going to discuss some new tools that are just out. We're going to talk about some new features, including non-med underwriting up to $3 million. That's huge. By the way, think about this statistic. In 2021, more than 56% of all applications or policies sold were sold through a non-medical platform. Okay, what does that tell you? Okay, what it also tells me, okay, these stats are crazy, the younger generation now is more focused on life insurance, okay? And that obviously COVID had a lot to do with that. Death claims are up, right? We all know. So the younger families, the breadwinners, are sitting around saying, oh my gosh, you know, if mommy, if she's the breadwinner or daddy, the breadwinner, gets COVID, are we going to be okay? And then the life insurance conversation starts, right? And hopefully you're the agent that gets the call or the request or email. But it's just crazy to me how we're seeing these trends, right? And what this pandemic has done and is doing to the life insurance business and industry. So, and I think that as agents, by the way, you're on the bright side of this, right? Because sales are skyrocketing. Okay. Now, some of the carriers aren't happy because death claims are up. Obviously, that's changing the actuarial numbers. So, But as agents, you should be running with these stories, okay? All right, back to the bullets. We're talking about built-in living benefits, okay? We're talking about a simplified e-application process with electronic policy delivery, okay? 7, 10 years ago, when we spoke about this, they thought we were crazy, that we had, 3 heads. They said, Bill, we're never going to have a simplified e-app with e-policy delivery. So don't even ask any more about this, okay? Well, today, you see what's going on. I don't even have to mention it. All right. Also, our scholarship program, this is one of the first carriers that approved Sage in our scholarship program. So another big plus. Premium finance, another hot button, okay, especially during this pandemic, okay? Well, they are back and bigger and better than ever, which Eric is going to mention as well. The marketing library between our tools and what they have to offer, I mean, you're talking about hundreds and hundreds of templates available. So you can start to literally drizzle on your consumers, your network, your database. Okay, and if you don't know how to do this, you can use our own CRM through Agency Automator. No problem. Okay, now we have the IUL Experience Platform, and that's for all of our carriers and IUL products. But think about this for a second. We have the only carrier compliant consumer IUL sales platform. It's a software tool, right, that you can use through Levinson for free, and Allianz approved it, which means it's 100% consumer compliant. So again, there is no other product and carrier that has all of these bells and whistles. Doesn't exist. Okay, and you're going to hear, by the way, and I'm not saying this because Eric's on. I mean, next week we have a huge IUL training, okay, with Mr. Joe Ross, who's one of the best life coaches in the world, in my opinion. Okay, obviously it's a different carrier, and they have a great product. But going back to what I'm saying, and it's on record now, no one has all of these bells and whistles that we're going to talk about today. No one, literally no one. So you're going to love it. Sit back, relax. Again, notes, questions, comments, nuggets is the goal for today's training. All right, let's jump right in. We're going to have a question of the day as soon as we wrap up in about 50 minutes. So you have to pay attention, number one, because the answer to my question is in the slides that you're about to see. Okay, so if you answer first incorrectly, you win the new Apple Watch on us. I'm going to announce your name at the end, but again, you have to answer first, and of course you have to be correct. And I'm going to announce your name at the end, and we'll mail you the Apple Watch. You do have to be active with Levinson and Associates, okay? That's the only little caveat there. Okay, let's jump right in. We have lots and lots of new updates, changes here at Levinson, all for the better, right? Levinson was up by 17%, okay, from 2020 numbers compared to 2021. We have also been skyrocketing, okay, just like the carrier you're about to listen to. So I could not be any happier, and it is because of you all, our agents. We would never be here if it wasn't for you, and these are 2 testimonials, okay, that are proof in the pudding, if you will. Left-hand side. This is from Cece, okay? And I'm not going to sit here for an hour and talk about the great reviews and recommendations, but these are 2 that I wanted to just point out real fast, because you can listen to me and Andrew and Eric talk until we're blue in the face, but until you hear it from an agent in the field, just like you all, right? It really, it means a lot, but when you hear it from someone just like you, I think it means a little more. So let me just mention this real fast. We are excited and thrilled to be with Levinson. Agents continue to come to us to help them transition and then thrive in the industry I've grown to love. We speak daily on how much we love working with your entire team, exchange often the amazing support we receive, and feel this has been a blessing to align all of this. This is the best part. I appreciate your gracious way you have been taking care of us. We are aligned to expand our businesses and know we are able to finally be the success we each strive for by working together. Okay? Now, let's go to the bottom part there. God bless each of you in your company. You are the light we all prayed for. Okay? That's huge. Okay, and I'm not trying to sound religious here or anything, but when a new agency speaks like that about an IMO, I mean, I literally gave me the goosebumps. I said to Andrew, we got to talk about this on the webinar. So thank you, Cece, and I hope each and every one of you feel the same way. We're not perfect in any way, but my promise is if there's something, a mistake made, an issue, you don't feel right when you hung up the phone with one of our employees, I want to know about it, and I'm going to try to make it right. Okay, I promise you that. My cell phone number is on my business card for a reason. So again, very, very important to us. Right-hand side, this is on our Facebook page. Thank you, Levinson Agency, for all the great tools, top commissions, marketing programs, underwriting expertise. I appreciate Billy, Andrew, Noah, Josh for timely help with any problems. Thank you, Carrie, for starting with intelligence, high ethics, and hard work. So, Michael, thank you so much. Okay, we don't take this lightly. It means everything. Plus, for you all listening, if you like our Facebook page, you leave a comment review, we send you the new IUL prospecting book on us. Okay, so please make sure you like and follow our page, leave a review, we send you the book. That simple. Okay, let's keep moving on here. I know we have a lot of information to cover. So this is what's new at Levinson. So just like you all, right, just like the carriers, we as an IMO, we also have to innovate and keep our foot on the gas and not just rest on our laurels and say, oh, you know what, we're up 17 to 25% year after year. What do we need to keep putting money back into this platform for? Agents are obviously happy. Okay, well, as soon as you have that attitude, you're driving literally a car in reverse, okay, around the city 22 and a half times. It's crazy. You have to constantly pivot, grow, and put money back into your platform. It doesn't matter if you're an agent, carrier, IMO. That's the way it is if you want to succeed, right? Year after year. So we've done exactly that. I'm going to talk about some of the new additions we're launching right now. Number one is the new mobile app. It's going to be rolling out by next week. There has never been a mobile app in the insurance industry like what you're about to see next week. Okay? Amazing. Obviously, it's free for you all. And we're going to have a webinar. We're going to send out a blast so you'll be comfortable with everything. Also, we just added a new term product to Insure Me Now Direct. So another term product that makes for 5 carriers on our direct-to-consumer Amazon type Insure Me Now Direct platform. It's free for all agents. Okay? Now, talk about game changing. That is the only platform that has been built for agents, okay, literally by agents because it's based on your feedback, where you're not just getting a referral fee, you're an agent of record. So you should have that up and running. Again, new product. We are officially launching it at our expo April 8th. And then we have 2 new tools we're launching at the expo, part of our iGenius platform. Number one is an iGenius underwriting real-time tool. We're going to start with 9 carriers. This system is amazing. Okay, basically it allows you, the agent, and in fact, we can even set it up on your website and drive consumers to the platform for you, okay, through an API. So basically, you or the consumer can go in, they can put as little or as much health information that they want to share, and the system will automatically give them the carrier, product, premium, health class based on their health situation, all in real time. And it's changing. As the client or the agent is adding more health information, the system automatically is calculating the new health class and premium and shows you what product is best based on that health situation. So, I mean, no one's ever done this. It's all free by Levinson. Also, iGenius requirement system, all online. So think of like DocuSign, which I know everybody has heard of, especially in the last 18 months. So think of DocuSign, but built for outstanding requirements. So when you send in an application and there's a SCUBA questionnaire that's needed, you literally it's single sign-in. So you go into our website, you click on iGenius requirement, click on whatever, Allianz, SCUBA questionnaire, let's call it, okay? Everything is done online in real time, and a ping or email sent to the client, hey, You got to fill this out. The client goes online, fills it out, hits send. It gets sent to you, the agent, us, the IMO, Allianz, the carrier. You are done. You just saved 2 weeks. Okay, and what does that mean when you save 2 weeks of turnaround time? It means you just got paid 2 weeks faster, and the client got a policy 2 weeks faster. It's a win-win-win. Again, it's free only through Levinson. I'm so excited about all of these things. And again, all launching at the April 8th Expo live in front of you all. You better be registered by now, okay? Over 300 agents will be in attendance, and then we're going to have a Facebook live stream going on at the same time. It's going to be awesome. It's been a few years since our expo because of COVID, so we're going to make this huge. Plus, Mary Reed, okay, author, 5-time bestseller of Distribution Solution Sales Concept. She's our keynote. And you talk about nuggets, okay? Well, you can call this the pot of gold because it's going to be an amazing day, and you better be registered. I want to see you there. It's free for all Levinson agents. Okay, I'm not going to bore you with all the other 22 bullets, but we're going to include this in the thank you email tonight. And let's move forward, Andrew. Okay, speaking of IUL. Now, I don't care if you're an IUL veteran, okay? If you don't know how to spell IUL, that's okay too. But my goal when building this platform, okay, with our entire team was one thing. We need to make sure that our agents have everything they need to sell and pitch and discuss IUL intelligently with their consumers, okay? And we did that. We handpicked each carrier, products, technology, okay, including the sales software program, including the scholarship program. Everything we put together, okay, has our agent in mind. We are doing everything from A to Z except finding the consumer, which obviously is up to you. In fact, we're not even allowed to speak to a consumer. So that's on you. Now, it's funny. I was just thinking to myself, where we don't even talk to a consumer, but we were talking about Mary Reed and her distribution solution. If you are not comfortable with selling the big IUL, right, or talking about rollovers or let's say tax savings, tax advantages, or retirement planning. Let's say there's a doctor client, white collar, and you feel like you need an extra helping hand. Mary will jump on the phone with you and make the sale for you, and you still get the bulk of the commission. So that's another opportunity. I just thought of that as we were talking. Okay, anyway, if you notice, these are our Levinson handpicked core IUL carriers, okay? Every single one with a red asterisk. What does that mean? Free scholarship, 1 year free, $40,000 of value. Doesn't cost your client a penny. You don't lose a percentage of commission. It's a win-win-win across the board just by working with Levinson, okay? Then the green asterisk means that is our IUL consumer sales software program. That means that carrier has 100% blessed that they can be on the platform. Compliance, okay, which is important for you. So real fast, if you notice the top left corner is Allianz, and that is who we're featuring today. And the reason why, again, #1 IUL sales in 2021, and you're going to see the reason why even more, even deeper by Eric in just a few minutes. Also, if you're thinking to yourself, Bill, I already have Allianz, I've had a contract for 17 and a half years, but I want to take advantage of all your tools, no problem. We'll transfer you over to Levinson. You get free leads with your first paid app or cash for contracting. Okay, so cash with your first paid app, and we match or beat your existing commission. Most of the time we beat it. So no problem. Okay, we can make the transfer and you get all of the tools we're talking about today. Without further ado, I want to introduce my friend Eric Johnson from Allianz. We're going to dive into all the goodies. Sit back, relax, enjoy. Eric, you there, buddy?
I'm here, man. I appreciate that.
Yep, no problem.
All right, I will take over. Yeah, appreciate the intro. And yeah, I couldn't speak more highly of Levinson Associates as well. The relationship we have together is incredible. And I can honestly say they're second to none, guys. So you're in very, very, very good hands. And it's a pleasure to be here. And thank you once again for having me. So yeah, let's just get right into it, guys. Allianz IUL. It's the one product we have in the life space, and like Bill said, we do it the best, hands down. So what is behind our record numbers, our record growth? Why are more and more people starting to say, hey, I need to look at this Allianz IUL? And it's these 5 bullet points right here, right? Our volatility controlled indexes, our rate lock, absolute game changer. I can tell you right now, last year we had over 9,000 policies take advantage of this rate lock feature with an average locked in rate of just under 12%. You heard me right, just under 12%. They are uncapped on the upside. I saw a couple policies lock in north of 18. Their clients actually saw 18% rate of return on their annual statement. We have an unbelievable commitment to our in-force team. Our loan flexibility is a game changer, right? We have really changed this where your clients now have so much more flexibility and control when it comes to actually pulling money out, which is the end game, right? You see a lot of contracts out there that are, hey, they're going to grow and do their thing, but when it comes to actually pull that money out, what is that loan interest they're going to be paying on that money? 6, 7, 8%? I'm going to get into the details on what makes ours very unique, and we have a contractual guarantee of 5%, and then delivering that customer service, and that's just really teaming up with Levinson Associates and making sure you guys get the best quality service possible. So first things first, so let's get right into it. What's really keeping us, I would say, standing out in the market are these 3 innovation pieces right here, right? Our exclusive features, right? Our own volatility controlled index with that rate lock feature. We have expanded new bonus opportunities, which includes our brand new classic flat rate bonus for a guaranteed credit. I know that word guarantee, it's kind of a scary word here in the industry, but I can say it, right? Guaranteed credit, along with that streamlined indexing story that I'm going to talk about here in a second. Then our enhanced sales tools. I know Bill kind of mentioned that as well, but we are more easily able to now tell our story with simplified consumer brochures, more videos, and then a very, very game-changing showcase tool that allows for you to show your clients, here's what these things can actually do without all the governors of these 7702 changes that you'll see here in a second. So I would say back in, it was December 27th of 2020, there were some big changes made to the life insurance space as a whole. They came out and said, hey, we are going to actually, with interest rates, we're going to be able to increase the amount of premium that clients can put into these policies without affecting the death benefit or even dropping the death benefit and still keeping it a life insurance contract and not causing it to mech. So what does that mean? Well, for the consumer, I would say in many scenarios, those potential loan values now have become much more competitive and bigger. So it's a win for them. For you guys as a financial professional, it almost kind of looked like the opposite, right? Now you're going to your clients, you're selling them, they're putting all this money in there, and then what you take home all of a sudden looks a lot worse with this new 7702 change. Well, Allianz said, you know what, that's not right. You as a financial professional are the ones out there, you're grinding, you're getting the clients, you're the ones selling the product. Let's make sure that our target premiums do not show some dramatic decrease just based on this new change. And so that's why Allianz was actually one of the last people in the group to actually come out with our new 7702 changes, was because we were reviewing and doing this and doing that. Well, a lot of other carriers tried to be first to market, and then they came out and realized, holy moly, we really messed up this product, we got to redo it. Allianz was last, or one of the last. And if you guys are to run competitive illustrations and look at that target premium, which we all know everyone has to, right? I mean, that's how you guys get paid for all the hard work you do. You will see Allianz is easily top 2 almost every single time, because Allianz want to make sure you as a financial professional get paid for the work that you are doing. So let's talk on some of those exclusive features that I mentioned, right? Those rate lock volatility controlled indexes. Here at Allianz, I would say about 98% of all of our policies that go in force use a percentage at least of one of these 2 indexes that you see on the screen. Either that Bloomberg US Dynamic Balance ER Index or that PIMCO Tactical Balance ER Index. Essentially what those are, from a bird's eye view, they go between equities, bonds, and cash based on volatility. Now, like I mentioned, these are uncapped on the upside. There is no cap, and that is contractually guaranteed to stay uncapped. On top of that, within those two indexes, you have an incredible feature called the rate lock feature, which we rolled out in 2019. Now, how does that work? Here's the old school way of looking at an IUL. You got your beginning policy issue value, and you got your year one ending value. Subtract the difference. That's what your client gets on their annual statement. Well, Allianz said, yeah, that's great. What if we could give the client the control to lock in a gain that they like and not worry about what happens until their policy anniversary, right? If the first 6 months the policy takes off, they're up 8–10%. What if we gave the client the control to say, hey, I'm happy with that 10% rate of return. We illustrated 6, I could lock in at 10. Now I'm ahead of the game and I don't have to worry about what happens for the next 6 months. I want to do that. And so now Allianz, like I said, rolled out that feature. Now your client has the power to lock in those gains, right? We can all remember what happened in 2018. The market went straight up for 3 quarters. Everyone was super excited. They were looking at 15–16% rates of return. Q4 came, the market went straight down. People that were expecting double-digit gains saw 4% rates of return. We're going, what in the world? Well, now with this feature, guys, your clients don't ever have to worry about that. So how does it work, right? They have that ability to lock it in. And the biggest question that we get with this is, okay, if I locked in this example at 108, what is my beginning year 2 value? Is it that 108 I locked in at, or is it that 102 that the index finished at? And the answer is it's whatever that index finished at. So for this example, your client gets an 8% rate of return, locked in, doesn't worry about it. Without the rate lock, they'd have gotten a 2% rate of return. Now when year 2 begins, they already got their 8%. Their beginning index value that they're watching and tracking is that 102 that the index finished at, not the 108 that it ended at. And so you can see here, right? Same exact thing. 102 goes to 108. They lock it in. They're happy. Their year 3 beginning value now is that 110, not the 108 that they locked in at. But I think we can all agree, guys, if the biggest conversation you're having with your clients is, hey, we locked in an 8% gain. If I wouldn't have, I would have got a 9. That's a win in my book. Now, like I mentioned, 2019, they rolled out this rate lock feature, right? And it was a manual lock. So your clients or you would track the index, watch it, see where it's at. Oh, okay, it's at 9. Let's maybe lock it in. They'd go online or make a phone call and lock in that gain. That's great. That's an awesome, awesome feature. Last year, Allianz said, what if we gave the client the ability to say, hey, what if they could set a target, not have to worry about it and track it, and it would automatically lock in the gain for them at that upper target number. And we released that feature last year. So now clients can go in and say, hey, I'm just going to type in 10%. If it gets to 10, it'll automatically lock for me. I don't have to worry about it. So 2 ways of being able to lock in those gains, guys, at any point in time during their crediting period. Now, what does that look like for your client? Here is an actual screenshot of what they would see if they were to log on, if they were in the rate lock index and try and take advantage of this feature. Now, here's a really cool thing I like to touch on, right? We offer it in the Bloomberg and the PIMCO. You can lock in each one separately of each other. So if you go in and say, hey, I want to lock it in, you're not locking in all of them at the same time if you don't want to. In this example, as you can see here, the PIMCO is at 9.4, while the Bloomberg's lagging at 2.8. The client says, hey, 9.4, that's a great return. I'm ahead of what I illustrated. I'm going to lock in that. And that Bloomberg at 2.88, I think it's got a lot of room to run until my anniversary. I'm going to put in an upper lock target of 10, and I'll probably check it in 3 to 4 months and see where it's at. Now, another really cool feature with this, guys, is let's say that PIMCO that you see there at the bottom with that 9.4% rate of return, let's say he had that auto lock set at 10. He logs online and says, oh, wow, I'm at 9.4. My auto lock is set to 10. You know, that 0.6% difference is not a big deal to me. I'd rather just lock this in on the spot, not have to wait for that auto lock to hit. They can cancel out the auto lock right there on the spot and lock in that 9.4 gain as you see there on the screen. Very, very powerful. A lot of control. As you guys are going to kind of start to see the theme of this presentation, guys, it's flexibility and control in your client's hands, right? We're talking 0% floors and uncapped upside with lockable gains. Show me another asset that you have that you can do something like that. And on top of that, guys, Levinson Associates can run you reports that will show you, and right, if you have, let's say you have 10 clients that are in the rate lock indexes, Levinson Associates will be able to send you reports that say, hey, look, 4 of those clients are at or above an 8% rate of return, might be worth making a phone call. And I think, Bill, you can keep me honest here, but I believe right now, Levinson Associates has over 13 policies, real life, that are at or above an 8% rate of return that I know their reps are making phone calls to their clients as we speak. Very,
Absolutely. Yep, I just got the report too, so that's a fact.
Yeah, so that's fact, that's real. And I saw a couple in there, Bill, I think they were north of 12%. I mean, real returns, guys, that your clients are seeing, right, in a market that's just going up and down, up and down. I think this year it's down pretty substantially. Now, on top of these uncapped indexes, guys, these indexes come with par rates and bonuses that I'm going to touch on here in a second. But I want to give you guys kind of a real life example of what clients could see on their annual statements. So here is a raw return of the Bloomberg just at random peaks and valleys that I kind of took into account here. Now, when we take into account the actual par rates and bonuses that are, like I mentioned, these are on client policies right now. These are actual numbers. Here's what your clients would see on their statements depending on which bonus they selected. And I'm going to touch on the different bonuses that we offer here in a second. But take a look at this. Let me look at April 30th, raw return 6.26. Depending on which one, your clients see north of a 10% rate of return on their actual annual statements. And those bonuses that you see there, guys, contractually guaranteed. They're not going anywhere. And they're also contractually guaranteed not to get a cap on these as well. Extremely powerful. I think we can all agree, hey, if this thing only does, look at it on May 13th, if this thing only does a 3.76% raw return, my client still is going to come in above what we illustrated. You tell that story to your clients and they're going to look at you with all the confidence in the world and say, absolutely, these things can do better than 3% year over year. 6% is an extremely conservative illustrated rate. I love it. Oh, and I can lock in that gain if it gets up to 8, 9, 10% at any point in time during my crediting year. Sign me up, please. Now, I mentioned those bonus opportunities, guys, right? What I just showed you here previously, we had a bonus of 15% multiplier and a 40% multiplier. We also offer, like I mentioned, what was that classic index as well. But first, let's just say your client says, hey, I love the rate lock story, it's phenomenal, but I also, this blended index that Allianz offers, I really like that one as well. So if the path they choose is this one, we see a lot of people do a third of these 3 indexes on the screen, right? 2/3 of that, they can lock in those gains, but that 1/3 of that blended index, they love having that diversity, right? Oh, I want to have a little piece of the Dow. I love having a little bond index, the Euro stocks and the Russell 2000. Not a problem. That one does have a cap with no rate lock, but that way now they're still diversified, right? So what do these bonus opportunities look like? We offer a standard, right? No frills, just straight. They got a little higher par rates, but there's no guaranteed flat rate bonus and there's no multipliers, just higher par rates and maybe higher caps. We offer that brand new classic index that I mentioned. This is that 0.9% flat rate bonus. Now, what does that mean? That means if your total return, let's just say, is 10%, then you add this flat rate bonus of 0.9 to get 10.9. But on the downside, if the index does a negative return, instead of just a 0, your client would actually see a positive 0.9% rate of return. You heard me right. Index does 0 or negative, your client still sees a positive rate of return with that classic index. It's no longer 0 as your friend, a positive 0.9 is. And then we offer 2 multipliers. We offer a bonus multiplier, which is that 15% multiplier. So like I showed you in that previous example, right? You take your 145% par rate times your raw return, and then times that by that 15% multiplier. Or for people that are more aggressive and okay paying a 1% asset charge, which I think we can all agree is very, right? That's normal. If you have assets under management, you're probably charging your clients 1%. You get a 40% multiplier. You got a 140 par rate, and then you multiply that by that 40% multiplier. Now, some clients might say, hey, I like the S&P. That's all I know. I don't care about rate lock, anything else. That's fine. We offer the S&P 3 different ways. They do all have a cap. And if they want to get really aggressive, we offer a monthly sum. So to sum it up, here are all the indexes that we offer with the different bonuses and multipliers. Like I mentioned, 98% probably, obviously don't quote me on that, but I would say easily the majority of all the policies that we see going for us have some percentage either in that Bloomberg dynamic or the PIMCO tactical balance. It really comes down to having that conversation, guys, with your clients and saying, hey, you want the rate lock? Perfect. Now let's talk about the different options within that rate lock. We offer a standard, a little higher par rates, nothing else, a classic. If you're really worried about getting a 0, now you can get a positive rate of return no matter what. Like I mentioned too, guys, that is contractually guaranteed, that 0.9% flat rate bonus. Oh, they offer a multiplier. If you don't want to pay any fees on top of the other life insurance fees, no problem. They offer a 15% multiplier. If you think this thing can easily do 6% every single year, the 40% makes mathematically the most sense. And lastly, guys, what I want to touch on and what makes Allianz unique is every single year you can change into any of the allocations you see on the screen, including our fixed bucket, which our fixed currently is paying 4.3%. So this year, if your client says, love the rate lock, put me in, done, great. Next year they say, hey, you know what? Rate lock was, I liked it, but I want to try the S&P. I know the S&P, I think it's going to have a crazy awesome year. They can switch and go right into the S&P. The following year, hey, I love, the classic. I want to be in the rate lock with that classic index. No problem. Every year they can change, or they can do a percentage into every single one you see here on the screen. And the really cool thing too, guys, is you see those PIMCO and that Bloomberg, the rate lock indexes, they can be a percentage into every one you see there. Every single X of the PIMCO Bloomberg that you see on that screen, they could have a percentage into each one and lock in each one separately. So they could technically have 8 opportunities to lock in gains. Now I mentioned our enhanced sales tools, right? Making sure that you as the producer, you with Levinson Associates have everything you need to be able to really tell that Allianz story. And the first thing we did, guys, we really updated our backcasting tool, right? It's really been updated and improved for use. And this has really helped kind of tell that story of providing that insight into historical frequencies of hitting those illustrated rates over a rolling period, looking backwards. And so now you can give your clients the comfort in saying, hey, you like the S&P, it comes with a 10% cap. Let's see what the likelihood is of this thing actually hitting that 6% rate of return with those caps and taking into account zeros on a rolling average. Let's look backwards and find out. And I think I was shocked at it was like a 50% likelihood of hitting that illustrated rate, because every 4 years the S&P does what? Gets a 0. And so, for example, if you're in the S&P with a 10% cap, and the first year you hit that 10% cap, and the next year you get a 0, you're averaging 5%. You illustrated 6, you're getting a 5, you're behind the game. If you're in one of our rate lock indexes and you're uncapped, and the S&P like last year was up 30, and this one's up 20, you go up 20, then you get a 0, you're at a 10% rate of return, right? Now you're ahead of the game. So this tool is really awesome to really just kind of give your clients that comfort in knowing, hey, we're illustrating a 6. You don't want to show 6, you want to show 5. What's the likelihood of hitting that number? Really gives your clients that comfort. But the biggest thing, guys, that we really took time to, in a brand new feature that we rolled out, is this showcase tool. One of the changes that happened with AG 49A was we are no longer allowed to show those contractually guaranteed, by the way, multipliers. So that 15% multiplier and that 40% multiplier that I talked about, contractually guaranteed, your client will have that every single year. We cannot show that in an illustration. I don't get it. It is what it is. So, with all these governors and all these things going on in our, with our illustrations, and your client's actually not seeing what these things actually do, Allianz has a tool now called the Showcase tool that really kind of helps your clients better understand what's going on without all the governors, right? And what I mean by that is we can't obviously design it, exactly to your client's age and premiums and the funding schedule, obviously, because then we would be, bypassing the AG 49A rules. But you can show certain ages, certain premium amounts, and certain funding schedules, right? And what this will take into account, and Bill and Levinson Associates will be able to send you guys PDFs if you want to, what this actually looks like. It takes into account par rates and those multipliers, and it will show your client, let's just say for this example, a 45-year-old doing 50,000 a year on a 20 pay, it could show them if this got a 6.5% rate of return and you took into account par rates and actual multipliers that are contractually guaranteed, here is the income that they could potentially pull out for 20 years starting at age 66. And it also will show you, okay, what if you got a 4% rate of return every year? What does that look like with par rates and multipliers? And so we're seeing a lot more people, guys, start out their meetings and presentations with this tool. They're showing this case study and saying, hey, this is what this actually can do without governors. Which one to you makes the most sense? Oh, I really like that classic. It's got the floor, and even though it's not as good for a potential rate of return as the select, I like knowing I got that 0.9% floor. Perfect. Now here's an actual illustration. Let's talk more about it. So with those marketing pieces, guys, we all know the 5 steps of selling a life insurance policy, right? You got to start, number 1, you got to do that prospecting. Identify the client. Who is this for? When it comes to our product, guys, this is a cash-rich policy, right? This is for that client. He's hitting his 401ks. He's got his IRAs. He is coming to you and saying, hey, I need something else in retirement. I got those other, I got the main buckets, but I need something else. I need something that I can pull out money tax-free. What do you got for me? Whoa, well, have you heard of the Allianz IUL? No, can you please tell me more about it? Absolutely. That you pull out some of these awesome marketing materials. Then from there I go, hey, this thing makes a lot of sense. I love what, I love the zero floor. I love this and that. I love being able to lock in those gains. Not a problem. Then you come through and you do it kind of a deeper dive and design that actual policy for that client with the premiums that they're comfortable with. Then from there you can maybe go, okay, here you go. Let's look at this backcasting tool. Maybe talk about, you mentioned the S&P 500 just because that's what you know, but take a look at this and look at the actual likelihood of hitting this number that you're seeing in this illustration. Oh, wow. Maybe we should look more at that rate lock index that you talked about. And then lastly, just going over how those credits work, right? And talking about the showcase and really showing them that deep dive. Now, all that being said, guys, at the end game, it's all about being able to pull money out, right? It's great to have a rate lock. It's great to have uncapped indexes on the upside, par rates, change between index allocations every single year. All that stuff is great. It's fantastic. It's necessary, right? It really helps your client be able to do what they need to do with this contract. But at the end of the day, they're buying this to help them feed their retirement, to help them sail off into the sunset, make sure that they can have the lifestyle that they want and, live out the trust that they gave you guys. And with that, guys, the loan flexibility in these riders are so critical because that's the end game, right? You're pulling the money out. So what does that look like? Allianz offers 2 different types of loans. We offer a fixed interest loan and we offer a indexed or participating loan. Now for the fixed loan, in the first 10 years, we're going to charge you 2.91% on that loan, and we're going to credit back 2%. In that year's 11 plus, we're going to charge you 1.96 and credit you 2. That's on the fixed loan, right? On the index loan or the quote participating loan, we're going to charge you 5%. That will not change. That is contractually guaranteed to stay at 5. It's not going to go up to 8. Like I know there's some other carriers out there that are going to charge you 8 to pull out your money. We're going to charge you 5, and that's it. That will not ever, ever change. Now, the unique thing with Allianz, I know there's a few other carriers out there that will say, hey, you need to choose which loan strategy you're taking before the policy even goes in force. How do you know that? How do you know 30 years from now what kind of loan you're going to want to take out? If you know, please call me. I'd like to go to Vegas with you. Right? I mean, come on. With Allianz, guys, they even took that, to the nth degree and said, what if the client could change every year between fixed and participating? Your clients have the ability, guys. If they say, hey, 1 year I'm really terrified of the market, I don't think I'm going to make 5% this year on my loan money, go into the fixed. Next year they say, hey, I think the market's going to absolutely go bananas. It's going to take off. That 5% is nothing. I want an index loan. They can do that. Or what if they say, hey, you know what, I'm going to pull out 100 grand on a loan, but I don't really know what the market's going to do. I love that participating loan, but I don't want to do the full 100 into it. Could I do like a 50-50 split between the fixed and the participating? The answer is yes. And guess what? Next year, they can do the same thing, or they could change. Hey, I want to do 75-25 actually in the participating and then the fixed. Not a problem. Every single year they can change, just like they can with their cash value. And so we see a lot of people maybe will say, hey, you know, the client loves the S&P, leave the cash value in the S&P. Great. When they take out that loan, they do a participating loan, they get charged 5%, but then they take that bucket and put it into one of the rate lock indexes. And so now, and then they go in and they say, hey, I'm going to set my upper target on this loan money at 6. I'm going to get charged 5. I know if this portion of my money gets up to 6%, it's going to lock that in. I just made 1% positive arbitrage. So having that type of flexibility, guys, is an absolute game changer. And what an awesome thing for you, right, as the producer, every year you get to sit down with your client and say, hey, you took out a fixed loan this year, worked out great. All right, now we got a new year. How do you want to do it? Do you want to do a fixed? Do you want to do participating? Oh, and then your cash value, you know, you're in the S&P this year. What do you think about XYZ? Now you guys are bringing even more value to these meetings. How awesome is that? So very, very powerful, guys. Being able to just, like I said, the name of the game, flexibility and control in your client's hands. And then we also offer living advantages and product riders, right? A big one I think that everyone likes to talk about, right? That chronic illness rider. Essentially like that long-term care. If you can't do 2 of those 6 ADLs, right, you can access up to $1 million per year. Very, very powerful. But a lot of things too, guys, that we are seeing because our product is designed so heavily to be able to pull money out, is we are seeing clients that say, hey, what if I do need long-term care when I'm between the ages of 80 and 90? And they're showing taking out a loan because of our loan, you know, flexibility, pulling out max amount of money for those 10 years to fund those things. So we're seeing a lot more designs based on those types of things. They're saying, hey, I'm going to fund this thing now because, you know, buying a long-term care policy now just doesn't make any sense, because what if I don't use it and I just wasted money? Now people are saying, hey, look at this IUL. Number one, it can fund your retirement. Number two, it's death benefit, right? It's great. But number three is this could also fund maybe my long-term care needs. That's incredible. And if I don't need my long-term care needs, now I know I can fund my retirement or leave a legacy to my family. I mean, it's incredible. But they do have that rider as well. Sometimes, you know, you look at the rider, maybe that actually might pay out, you know, a lot better than a loan. Makes sense, but at least your client has options, right? We offer a premium deposit fund rider. We're seeing a lot more of these types of things as people are maybe inheriting money, right? This is a, you know, an awesome rider where your clients can give us a lump sum, and instead of having to buy up a huge sum of death benefit, we will slow drip that money into our policies anywhere from 3 to 10 years. While it sits with us, it's going to make 2%. And then on top of that, guys, we offer another, you know, some other awesome riders. Obviously, loan protection rider, very important when it comes to funding that retirement, making sure your clients don't ever have to worry about getting those 1099s. I'm sure we've all heard of those horror stories. But the one that I really want to focus on, that I'm seeing more of, this is for maybe those clients that are, we call them Henrys. High earners, not rich yet, right? Pretty catchy, huh? You guys feel free to use it too, by the way. We see a lot more people using our term rider, right? We offer a term, it's called the supplemental term riders, you see there on that screen, where we're seeing a lot of clients say, hey, you know, I totally get this concept, right? Snowball effect, I can start feeding it, and by the time I'm 60, I'm gonna have this lump sum of cash I can pull out tax-free. I can't afford it at the moment to do the full $1 million that I want to take out. I can afford 100,000 of permanent coverage, perfect. We're going to get you the full $1 million. We're going to do 100,000 of permanent, and we're going to sprinkle on 900,000 of term on top of the policy. Oh, and the best part is over the next 12 years, Mr. Client, you can convert that term into permanent. So now when they are making the big bucks like they know they were going to, they have that full $1 million at the healthier rates, right? Because they got it when they were younger. And now all of a sudden they're miles ahead of the game. So we don't offer term by itself, but like I mentioned, guys, we're seeing a lot more people be like, hey, I can't afford it all. I want a chunk, throw on the term rider. I know I'm just going to slowly convert it over time. Now, we mentioned premium finance, right? I know Bill brought that up. I can say this, guys, our product has, right, popularity of it has been crazy. Demand, has exceeded anything that we thought. For the first time in our company's history, last year, we had to shut down taking premium finance business. And the reason is we can only accept 25% of all of our premium can be premium finance. And for the first time in our company's history last year, we exceeded that number, and that was in July. Right? We're going to, hopefully do north of $200 million this year in premium with our product, with our one product. And I can tell you right now, the demand just in that premium finance space is through the roof. Now, what is the deal with it? Why is it such a big deal? Well, number one, rates are low. And so people are looking at it and saying, I can borrow money, keep my assets where they are, and essentially get a life insurance policy and have it paid for within, roughly 15 years. And I didn't have to come up with my own premium dollars. That's pretty incredible. It's the power of leverage. Now, if you really want to do deep dives into, premium finance and really getting into the weeds and, see some designs, reach out to Bill, reach out to Levinson and Associates. They will get you guys buttoned up and dialed. Because I can tell you right now, the demand, we opened back up on January 31st of this year. And the demand is already getting to the point where it's like, we almost need to shut the doors. And so if you guys are looking at potential cases, you think you might have a potential client that this would make sense for in that premium finance space, or that's quote hybrid, or maybe they don't have the 5 million net worth, but they do love that idea of that power of leverage, keeping assets where they are and getting this, asset and not having to, sell solid things. Reach out to Bill, reach out to Levinson Associates, and we can obviously, we'll set something up and dive deeper into how that works and why it's such a big deal. But I can tell you this, yes, it has been through the roof. It was like when the first iPhone came out, right? Just demand was, people were lining up outside before the stores even opened up. That's kind of how we felt when we opened things back up on January 31st. So if you want more information on that premium finance, how it works, well, number one, I can tell you this, guys, the reason, premium finance has been so popular with our product because essentially our product is designed for that concept, right? Putting in a bunch of money, pulling out as much as you can, repaying a loan. Now you have this, cash value policy that didn't cost you, pennies on the dollar. That's what our policy is designed for. The premium finance space, that's exactly what it does. I mean, that's right. It's like the stars are aligning. It makes total sense. On top of that, I want to touch on just our underwriting, right? Allianz recently jumped our accelerated underwriting, so no med up to $3 million, right? Obviously, risk class preferred or preferred best. Issue ages are anywhere from 25 to 60. But yeah, Bill is 100% right. We jumped that thing up to 3 million, up from 1.5 million. And now your clients, right? If they pass through it just with that phone call, that phone history interview, they can get a policy, in a span of a week. It's pretty incredible. And we're seeing more and more people, Bill mentioned this on, earlier, DocuSign, right? We're doing delivery docs with DocuSign now. I mean, we live in a world, guys, now where more and more people are doing these, not in-person meetings anymore, right? People are scared. People are, and rightfully so, or people are just saying, hey, I can do my job and I don't have to drive 45 minutes to meet with Mr. Client to just sign the delivery docs. I get it. Meeting in person to talk about this concept makes total sense in the world because you're talking about, right, loved ones and all these different types of things. But when it comes to actually they're on board now and they're good to go, you don't have to drive 45 minutes just to get delivery docs signed. That's a game changer. And so Allianz notes that and sees that and says, hey, we're in a new world. And so now, right, they're saying, well, let's up this to 3 million. I know they're potentially working on maybe getting this to 5 million. Hey, you heard it here first. We don't know. We'll see. But I know right now it's at 3 million, 25 to 60, preferred best on the app. And you might be able to get a policy, faster than you could possibly think. So With that, guys, I really appreciate the time. Thank you so much. If you guys have any questions, obviously you're in, I would say, the best hands that I've worked with. So it's a pleasure, and looking forward to working with everybody.
That was great, Eric. Thank you so much. So, real fast, again, all questions will be answered. If we need to reel back Eric in for a three-way call, conference call, we can do that as well. He's here to help us. So don't forget that. All right, we're going to wrap up in about 3-4 minutes here. I know I'm a couple minutes late, but I want to touch on a few things, and then we'll have our question of the day and give away the Apple Watch. So on our website, okay, as soon as you log in, we literally have an entire turnkey platform called IUL Experience, and we have all of the training, phone pitches, lead programs, everything you need, okay? But what I would do first is you got to make sure you're appointed and active with Levinson through Allianz. If you want to get started with Allianz or any of the other IUL carriers, we'll also include this in our thank you email. All right, another exclusive platform we just rolled out through iPipeline is if you go to our quoting engine. This is very, very unique. We're the only pilot agency that has this right now. So the carriers that have this available on our quoting engine, Lincoln Principal, Hancock, Symetra, Nationwide, Protective, Prudential, Mutual of Omaha, AIG. This is for all permanent illustration. So IUL, UL, whole life, and what's so cool, so you put in the basic information just like you're running a term quote, and then the system will go to like a cheat sheet and then the full carrier compliant illustration and then populate into an e-app or drop ticket. Okay, all with the click of a button. We're adding more carriers and products by the day. So definitely get comfortable with that. Another great tool that will set you apart and make the sales process easier for you all. Okay, so when you talk about the training, our learning center, okay, and I said it like 2 or 3 times, if you're brand new with IUL or you're a veteran, okay, everything you need is in one easy place, one section on our site. I encourage you to jump in, listen to the trainings. Also, the Joe Ross webinar next week, talk about IUL training, okay, that's going to be a game changer for 2022. Okay, write it down on record. I promise you that. Okay, ultimate IUL door opener. I love, love, love this concept. Here's why. Think about this, and I don't have time to jump in, but I'm going to give you the 100-foot overview. So think about the ultimate gift, right, from parents or grandparents for their children or grandchildren, right? $99 a month for an IUL, okay? In 20 years, all premiums come back. The policy continues. And those premiums that come back in 20 years could be used for a 4-year tuition. And then you combine that with our scholarship program, and all of a sudden, you can have literally 2-3 years of the 4 years paid for college, and the policy continues on without any additional premium. Okay? That is a great door opener, great sales idea for the new year. Okay, leads, and more leads, right? That's the name of the game. First question that always comes up. Well, we have put together a great program. This is our newest one. Look at the bottom left corner. So that is a new annuity mailer program. Okay, Levinson agents pay only $500 for 1,000 mailers. The return is 1.5 to 2.25%. You can save $150, and that's for annuities and investment products, even IUL. I love, love, love this program. We're rolling it out as we speak, and then, of course, we have all of the other programs available. And the winner for today, we're giving away the Apple Watch. I'm going to give you in the top left side the IUL prospecting book, by the way. And also, if you like our Facebook page, leave a comment. That's the book you're going to receive for free. Okay, so lots of options. We'll include this in the thank you email. Real fast, these are premium finance resources Eric just spoke about. But this was a real life case that's going on right now, right-hand side with Allianz. Let's talk about this for a second. Male, age 38, white-collar doctor. I touched on this in the beginning, making $350 a year, net worth at $2.5 million. We were able to get him $2.1 million. Premiums are $60,000 for 10 years. So 10 pays $60,000. The client's putting in $31,000, so about half the premium for half the amount of time, for only 5 years. 75% of the premium is paid by premium finance. Okay. This is about 60 days turnaround time. Look at the target premium agent commission, $36,000. Okay. So younger, healthier clients that have the net worth, let us know. Even if they don't. By the way, we have programs that are starting at $1 million of net worth with a minimum of $100,000 a year. So just let us know. This is a great opportunity to reel in those monster cases. Now, Mary Reed, speaking of monster cases, she's our keynote speaker. I spoke about this in the beginning. She has an awesome book and a great strategy where she uses IUL in her strategy. She has one whole life product and one IUL product for the more, we have the whole life for the more conservative client, and then we have IUL for the younger, healthier, more aggressive client. So great options here. She does most of the work for you. All you have to do is say, hey, I got a guy, I got a girl, and she'll take it from there. All right. Next up, Bill Levinson Experience Podcast. We have me and Carrie did our own episode. I think you all will love. Very entertaining. It's been 3 years since we did this. We're talking about the new year and what it's like being an IMO, a carrier, an agent, even what it's like to be a consumer right now during a pandemic. Some great sales stories you're going to enjoy. Look at the left side. I just locked this one in. This is huge. So this is a brand new agency of ours, certified financial planner, and he's the former voice of the Miami Heat. So he is going to be on our March episode. He's got some great stories to tell. The guy's a local celebrity. And again, now he's an insurance agent, CFP. So this is going to be really, really cool. Plus, I didn't even tell you, I literally grew up with this guy. I mean, I met him when I was 13 years old. So we got some really, in fact, the first time I saw snow, I was with Jason. So it's going to be a great energy, great stories, and a lot you can learn from. That'll be one I'm looking forward to in March. Okay, future training. So real quick, I was telling you about Joe Ross. I said it probably 7 times already. Next week, Thursday at 3 p.m. You better write that down. Lock it in now. Clear the calendar, folks. That is going to be worth it. He's my favorite life insurance coach trainer in the industry, bar none. Next Thursday, 1 hour, 3 p.m. Eastern time. On the bottom, IUL and premium finance strategies. That's where we're going to dive in deep to all premium finance. Make sure you're on that one as well on the 24th. And then we're going to have our last slide of the day, and I'm only 5 minutes late, which isn't too bad considering. So I appreciate you hanging with me. I'm going to just mention this Positive Tuesday quote, and then I'm going to ask the question of the day and give away the new Apple iWatch sealed up in front of me. It's going out to the first agent that answers correctly. Okay, so our quote. We have the Super Bowl coming up this weekend. 2 underdog teams, a great story. And I think the message here, being called the so-called underdog is not necessarily a bad thing. It can bring us amazing drive, motivation, and strength, as this year's Super Bowl proves, coming from behind, right? So I said it a few times, if you're a rookie, in the space, in the IUL space, in the insurance space, if you're willing to put your right foot down and put the work in and take the time, okay? And it's not just about words, it's about the action. You will be successful, especially in a time like this where life insurance is at the top of everyone's mind around the dinner table. Let's be honest here, right? All you have to do as an agent is get the word out, market, get aggressive and scrappy on social media, okay? It's about the relationships first, and then, yes, you got to know enough to be dangerous about the products, but use us, leverage our resources. We're here to help, okay? But anyone can do it, okay? We have podcast guest speakers in their mid-30s clearing millions and millions of dollars a year of commissions. Anyone can do it, okay? Especially right now. Okay, question of the day. I spoke about our case study, okay? By the way, you got to answer very quick. Put your little fingers on the keyboard and answer first and correctly. Apple Watch, you take it home. Question is, I spoke about our case study for the premium finance, and I spoke about the target premium commission. Tell me how much it was, and you win, okay? You tell me the target commission or target premium commission, you win. I said the number twice in a few slides earlier. You tell me what that magic number was, and you win the Apple Watch. And I'm going to announce the winner right now, folks. Andrew is behind the wheel. Do you see a winner, Andrew?
I do. First correct answer goes to Sherry O. Sherry O got it correct.
Sherry O, it was $36,000 of target premium. Sherry, congrats. Thank you, everyone, for staying on. I hope you walked away with nuggets. Everyone can be a winner, by the way. Just go to our Facebook page, Levinson and Associates, like it, leave a comment. We want to hear from you, and you win. As long as you're active with us, you win. Let's have a great Thursday, a great week, great selling. Thank you again, everyone. Take care.